I'm here.
Okay, well, that shows dedication.
Yes, sir.
I don't understand where your brother is. Where's Easley Jake? Where's Green Wave Jake? You know, everybody I ask what a green wave is, they don't know. Everybody that went to Easley, I ask them, what's a green wave? I don't know. What about going to high school for 4 or 5 years and not even being able to tell what your mascot is? That's sad. All right, this problem is unique, okay? I've done this problem 3 or 4 times, and I keep getting a different answer. But I finally went through and did what they did, and it's all in the factoring out, okay? What they're doing is they're factoring out, and that's why they're getting the answer that they're getting, okay? That 3 on the 3x minus 3, make sure I'm recording, I am recording. That 3 can come out. Now, I've already done the calculus. I did the calculus correct, but I didn't factor out what they factored out. I didn't even factor out anything when we finished this in class the other day. But you can factor out a 3 here, and you can get, and I think they're factoring out a 3 here also. I still don't know what they're doing, but I'm going to try to do what I think they did. And that'll give a 3 times 6 is 18 there. And a 3 here. But I still get 60, and I don't know how they're factoring an 18 out of 60. I don't know how they're doing that. So I'm still confused a little bit. I'm going to show you what they're doing, but I think they've got an error because I can't get the answer to come out the right way. If somebody help me, I mean, if you can help me, I appreciate it. But anyway, I think I just figured it out. 3x squared. Hold on a second. 3. That's 9x squared. 2 times 18. I think I just figured it out while I was looking at it back here. I think this 9 comes out here. Let me just try something and see if that's what they're doing. Factor out a 9 here. And that's going to give me 3x minus 3. I mean, an x minus 3. X minus 1 minus 1 squared, 20x to the third, 4 minus x to the fourth, plus 4 minus x to the fourth to the fifth, times 6 times 3 times x minus 1. Now I see 9 times 20 is 180, Mr. Marshall, and I can factor out 18 now. That's what they're doing. 9 times 20 is 180 x to the third times x minus 1 squared times 4 minus x to the fourth power plus 18 times x minus 1 times 4 minus x to the fourth to the fifth power. That's what they're doing. Now, come on. Okay, now I've gotten it written. And remember, this is all algebra. And this comes from a book that leaves your answer in non-simplified form, but they get to this problem and they carry it all the way out. Y'all figure it out. All right. What's in common with these two? 18. I'm going to factor it out in yellow. So I'm going to factor out 18. And then what's in common? And I'll factor out green. What's in common with these two?
X minus 1.
X minus 1. And I'm going to factor that out in green. And then what's in common? You always pick the lowest. You always pick the lowest exponent. Please. What's in common with these two?
4 minus x to the fourth.
And then you put 4 minus x to the fourth. And now we do brackets.
Question.
Brackets. And now let's factor it. What's 180 divided by 18? Should be 10.
Is
10?
the x supposed? Is the
What?
x in the blue supposed to be raised to the fourth and then raised to the fourth again?
Yeah. Thank you. Put a 4 there. Yeah. Thank you. I mean, I'm not trying to gaff you off. I'm just trying to keep going. Yeah, that's right. And the x minus 1 is going to be to the first power right there. And the x and the blues are going to cancel out there. Do y'all see that? Everybody see that? Yep. All right. What's in common with 18? 1. So that's just 1. The x minus 1 cancels, and that leaves what? 4 minus x to the fourth to the first power. Now this is starting to look right. So 18, x minus 1, 4 minus x to the fourth raised to the fourth power, 10 x to the fourth minus 10x cubed plus 4 minus x to the fourth. And that's going to give me 18 times x minus 1, 4 minus x to the fourth power, times 10x to the fourth minus x to the fourth is what? 9x to the fourth minus 10x cubed plus 4. And what did they get? 10x cubed. They got 11. So I've got a sign wrong somewhere. Good golly molly. Now where's the sign wrong? It's supposed to be negative 11x. Well, y'all find it. I'm not going to find it because I got to go teach. But I got it to close as I can get it. Somewhere that 9x is supposed to be. Wait a minute. That 10x to the fourth should be negative by their standards. I don't see. There it is. I found it. Look at here. I dropped it. So that 20 becomes what? Negative 180, right? And then that turns into a negative. There we go. And that's a negative 11x to the fourth. Now, why this is a good homework problem, I probably would take less than that on a test because I only care about you being able to do the calculus on a problem like this because you got the chain rule and the product rule. Okay, now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to combine it. I'm going to take it and I'm going to do this just to, because I'm make a group. I'm going to bring this down and up, and I'm going to rewrite the product rule so you can see what we did the other day in case you didn't write it down. First, times the derivative of the second, so that's going to be 5 times 4 minus x to the fourth power And what's the derivative of what's inside the parentheses? Negative 4x to the third. Plus the second, which is 4 minus x to the fourth to the fifth power, times the derivative of the first, 2 times 3x minus 3 to the first power times 3. And then I did put 3 dots and grunt. So does everybody see that? First times the derivative of the second plus the second times the derivative of the what? First. And then you do your algebra and then you get it. Now, I would say probably on this test, this is probably one of the hardest problems you would be doing. Okay? Does that help y'all?
Yes.
That's the 4th time I've done that problem. So, and the reason is because of this x minus 1 squared. If you did that 3x minus 3 squared, what would you get? You would, let me write that out there for you, because some of y'all might not see where I got the 9. Go out to the side here. Let's do it in magenta. Shortcut number 3, which would be 9x squared minus 18x minus what? Or plus what? And what's in common here?
9.
And you factor that out and you get x minus 3 quantity squared. So that may be why some of y'all didn't understand where I got the 9. X minus 2, sorry. X minus 2 quantity, should be X minus 1, because that would give you, yeah. Because you would give you a 1 at the back. I'm sorry. My mistake. I'm thinking and I'm writing at the same time. You'll have to excuse me. 1. There we go. And if you need to know why it's like that, 9 times x squared minus 2x plus 1. And what does x squared minus 2x plus 1 simplify to? Shortcut number 2, x minus 1 quantity squared. In this problem, 10% of this is calculus, and that's up there in the blue, that first row. The rest of it's 100% algebra. So write that problem down, because if you could do a problem like that in a fair amount of time, you're doing good. And like I said, I probably would not tell you to go this far on a test. I hope I don't. But it all depends on what problems I got to choose from. Okay, let's go back to the homework questions. And that was 1.7, but I've received some other questions, so we're going to go back, because I'm thinking everybody, it looks like to me everybody's closing in on 1.6. So it looks like pretty much we're about through. 1.6, let's see what this one is. 3/2. I don't know if we did this one or not. Somebody tell me if we did. I don't think we have. All right, go ahead and do it both ways. I want you to do it both ways. I want you to do the algebra first by doing the FOIL method, and then do the derivative using the sum and difference rule. And then I want you to do the product rule. Now, why am I asking you to do both rules? That means I want y'all to interact with me. I don't want y'all to, it's not rhetorical. Pendleton, why do you think I'm asking you to do both? Come on, you can do it, Pendleton. Come on. You can do it. Answer.
So we understand both ways how to do the problem.
That's a good answer, but you're 100% wrong. No, I'm just kidding. That's a good answer, but that's not why I want you to do both. Anybody want to take a guess and easily, or Mr. Miyagi?
I'm only half Asian, I don't know.
What? What is the best way? What is the best way to learn something like a musical instrument?
To practice.
Practice. If I give you two ways to do it on each problem, you're going to do double the derivatives. And that means you're going, who's that outside y'all's door?
You talking about the vacuum person that's been outside mine forever?
No, I'm talking about Pendleton. It looks like that what's his name? The horror.
Nobody.
He's just getting water, I think.
Oh,
I was about to say, I can't.
look like
Oh, yeah, I
Slim
thought it was a
Man.
goat.
Slender Man. I didn't know who it was. Had that white hat on. I thought it was Slender Man.
Yeah, I was about
Have you ever seen that horror movie with Slender Man in the video? Now that's scary. Where they take this video camera with them and
Can we watch it?
No.
Show us a clip.
No. I would do it, but no, there'd be one person. Mr. Miyagi would probably tell my boss. Yes, he showed us a horror film and there wasn't any application of math to it. I thought you would like that.
That's a rip.
All right. So, anyways, that's a scary movie. I don't know what it's called, but it's a news crew. It's a news producer, an anchor woman, and a cameraman. And they find this box of tapes, videotapes, and a video camera in the basement of this house that they're doing a story on. And in this video camera, it shows that Slender Man, and it's coming after the camera, and then everywhere the camera goes, the Slender Man follows them, and they traipse all across the countryside, find out where that camera came from, and the Slender Man chases them. You ever seen that movie? It's scary.
That sounds like a much better Slender Man movie than the one that we got.
Oh, I've seen that one. That one wasn't good. All right, so let's do FOIL. First is 3x squared. Outside is x plus x. You can put 1x if you want to. Negative 18x and negative 6. Y'all check my algebra. If I do the product rule, first times the derivative of the second, the derivative of 3x is 3, plus the second, which is 3x plus 1, times the derivative of the first, which is 1. So there's your two first steps, whether you use algebra first or you use calculus first. 3x squared minus what? 17x minus 6, sum and difference rule, 6x minus what? 17. Here, you do your algebra. 3x minus 18 plus 3x plus 1. 3x plus 3x is 6x minus, it's a miracle. Now, if you are a calculus person that sucks at calculus, you should be doing both of them. If you invented calculus, then hell, you don't even need to do the problem. Now, that's a nice little test question. I wouldn't mind putting that because it's basic, straightforward, and there's not a lot of rigmarole after you do either one. That's the problems I like to do. I mean, testing you on algebra is good. I've already tested you on algebra. I'm not going to test you again and again and again. I mean, you wouldn't be here if you didn't know algebra because I tested you on the first test. Next. And that is 1.63, delete, 1.651/13. Find an equation of the tangent line to this is one of those stupid questions. Okay, find an equation to the tangent line at the original point. So I think they want you to, I'm going to do the derivative, and then I'm going to plug in the 1, and then I'm going to do the equation, do the algebra. I think that's what they want you to do. So here we go. First of all, I'm going to rewrite. How do I know to rewrite? Because this is a fraction, you could do the quotient rule. So let's do both. So denominator times numerator prime minus the numerator times the denominator prime over denominator what? Denominator squared. All right, that's using the quotient rule. Now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to use the rewrite negative 2x times x squared plus 1 to the negative 1 power. Using the product rule, first times the derivative of the second plus the second times the derivative of the first. All right, now you work on both of those. Give you a minute or two to work on it. Everybody at Pendleton working on it? Mr. Miyagi, you done finished?
Again, I'm only half.
Negative 2x squared minus 2. That's going to be negative 4x squared. It would be plus 4x over x squared plus 1. Y'all check my algebra there. I'll be going over here and doing this one. That 2x, that's going to be a 4x. 4x times 2x, I'm sorry, 2x times 4x. 4x. X squared plus 1, negative 2. Plus minus 2 times x squared plus 1 to the negative 1. Well, that's going to be 4x over x squared plus 1 squared minus 2 over x squared plus 1 to the negative to the 1. I gotta multiply both sides, this side by x squared plus 1. So that's going to be 4x over x squared plus 1 quantity squared minus 2 times x squared plus 1 over x squared plus 1 quantity squared, which will give me 4x minus 2x squared plus 1 over x squared plus 1 to the second power. I don't know if that's going to come out right. That's supposed to be squared right there. Does it match? 4x, 2x squared. Okay, why have I got a 2 there? I must have dropped a 2 somewhere. There it is, right here. 2x plus 2. Yeah. 2x squared plus 2. There. My mistake. And you see, you get the same what? Now, if you can't get the same answer on the right side, that means you suck at algebra and you need to work on your algebra. Here, you see that the one on the left, the quotient rule, is a whole lot easier than doing the power rule, product rule. Oh, we're not finished because we got to do all that other stuff. So, y prime is equal to negative 2x squared minus plus 4x minus 2 over x squared plus 1. Everybody with me? So let's find the slope at 1. At x is equal to 1. Find the slope at x equal to 1. Somebody do that for me. We've done part 1. Part 1 is find the derivative. There's part 1 right there. I'm sorry, what? Well, let's see. 1, negative 2, plus 4 is 2. Let's make sure. 1 times negative 2. Negative 2 plus 4 is 2. 2 minus 2 is 0.
Now you got to square the negative 3 times 1.
No. Negative 1, you plug 1, right? 1 squared is 1. 1 times negative 2. Negative 2 plus 4 is 2. 2 minus 2 is 0. I think you're going to get 0. Somebody check me. I think you're going to get 0 over 2. Is that what y'all get?
That should be.
Y prime of 1 is equal to 0 over 2. Somebody check me. I got one person saying yes. Somebody check me. Anybody? Is anybody plugging it in or what?
Look good to me.
What?
So it looked right to me.
Thank you. I appreciate that vote of confidence there. Looks right to me. Boy, this room sucks without Jake here, doesn't it? Y'all need to, Asian Jake, you need to kick it in, man.
Sorry.
Is that a
Oh my
Karate
God.
Kid joke?
You got the coronavirus. You ain't gonna
You know how many
go-
jokes I've gotten already
Doesn't
about
matter, it's
that?
time before it comes up.
You dang old coronavirus. You better stay there at Oconee.
That escalated quickly.
You need to
Coming
be
for
on,
you.
what is it, quarantine?
Quarantine?
All right, so now we got a slope, m is equal to 0, and we've got a point at 1 and negative 1. So now we're going to find, I don't know if this is going to ask, but some of these questions that are written like this, I might as well just go ahead and do it. Y minus a negative 1 is equal to 0 times x minus what? Well, it really doesn't matter, because what does this side go to? 0. So your answer is y is equal to negative 1.
That's crazy.
So I don't know how many answers you're going to get here. I'm just going to type in 3 because I don't know what they're asking for. I think they're going to ask for the derivative first. But final. Okay, 2x. Do we got a 2x anywhere? I don't know how they got 2x. The tangent to the curve is at 0.11. I'm gonna put in 3. Evidently we didn't factor it far enough. Let me see if that top one's factorable, because they got something totally different. So see if you can factor that numerator. Oh shoot. That's shortcut number 5. I didn't even see that. See if that numerator is factorable. That shortcut number 5 is on the bottom. Shortcut number 5, or number 4, I can break that up into x, or is that a square? That's x plus 1. X squared plus 1. I can't break that up, can I? X squared plus 1, quantity squared. That's supposed to be quantity squared. Thank you. That's x squared plus 1 times x squared plus 1. So evidently there's some way we can factor this out. So let's look. y prime is equal to negative 2, and then that breaks that up into what? X squared minus 2x plus 1. There we go. Somebody check me out there. And then down here you got x squared plus 1 quantity squared. Y prime is equal to negative 2, and that's going to give you x plus 1, x minus 1. See, it's not working. It's not. That's x minus 1 on the bottom, on the top. X minus 1 quantity squared, x minus 1 quantity squared over x plus x squared plus 1 to the second power. Sure looks like to me something's not exactly right. I don't understand what they're doing. I got the same thing with the product rule and the quotient rule, so that means I'm not doing the math wrong. So that must mean I'm reading the question wrong. And that's entirely impossible with this book. Find an equation of the tangent line. Huh?
This is at the origin.
Oh. At the origin. I didn't see that. And the point 0, 1. Okay, well that would change things, because the origin is 0, 0, and this point is 1, negative 1. So that would make a difference. Are they wanting us to do the algebra first and find the slope of the line?
I think they want you to get the did.
Yes.
The tangent equation, and then they just want you to plug in 0.
Well, then why did they give us? Well, we did plug in 0. We plugged in 0, and we got. What did we get when we plugged in 0? What did we get for the slope? 0. I mean.
Yeah, we got negative 1.
Well, we got 1. But if we plugged in 0, that's going to annihilate. That's going to just leave us with negative 2 over 1. So evidently, I'm not understanding this question. I'm doing the derivative, but I'm not understanding what they want. Hold on a second. Let's see what they're wanting. Are they taking the derivative? Yeah, there's the quotient rule. So they're doing that, but I don't understand what they want. Oh my gosh, they're taking 3 days to go through the quotient rule, aren't they? They still taking the derivative. Okay, there's the derivative. Now, that looks like something I got. See the x squared plus 1 on the bottom?
Yep.
So we're doing that. So what do they want to do? Find the slope at x is equal to 0. Okay, we plugged in 1, but they want us to plug in 0. And then, so we plug in 0, that's going to give us what? Negative 2 over 1,
Yeah.
which is negative 2. So we've got a slope of, I don't know where this is going. M is equal to, we got a slope of 2. Somebody check me. 0, that'd be negative 2 over 1. We got a slope of negative 2 at 0, 0. And then at 1, negative 1, we've got a slope of what? 0?
Wait, can we try plugging in the negative 2 into the whole point slope equation thing and see what we get?
We hadn't done that yet.
Yeah, but I think that would be the answer, yeah, because if you put in y minus 0 equals...
Well, why aren't they doing it with the second one? Why are they doing it with just the first one?
Well, they did with the second one for point 1 dash minus 1.
Okay, whatever. I don't. God, why don't they just do the derivative? I don't understand why they're doing all this other extracurricular stuff when all you need to learn is the freaking derivative in calculus. I'm sorry, I'm venting, I'm sorry. So I'm gonna just do both of them. I don't know what we're gonna get. Y minus 0 is equal to negative 2 times x minus 0. And that's what we did with the 1. Y minus a negative 1 is equal to m, which is, what do we get, 0?
Yep.
0 times x minus 1. And that goes out. And we get y plus 1, and that's y equal to negative 1. And then this, which I didn't see this word, so y is equal to negative 2x minus 0, so there's that one. So I guess I just didn't see what they were doing. I'm sorry. I didn't know we had to rehash graphing algebra 1 after we take the first and second derivative. I mean, not the first and second, but the quotient rule. Lord have mercy. All right, I'm sorry. So I don't know why they want to ignore this one. Okay, they didn't. I see now. They're asking you for the same thing they asked us for, except this time they're putting a second point in there, and I didn't see it, so I suck. You're supposed to all say, that's okay, Hubert, everybody makes mistakes. You're not supposed to just sit there and be quiet. You know what? Y'all suck. Y'all know that?
You're never going to be a part of the Asian club now.
I'm going to start indoctrinating y'all is what I'm going to start doing. If you don't agree with me, you suck. How about that? Oh gosh, look. T-Rex campus. We got to log back in. Wait a minute, that wasn't a shooting, was it?
Looked like it.
Oh no.
Olsen Course Plant no longer.
Mass shooting. Oh, that was yesterday, wasn't it? Oh yeah.
You know what that means?
That means all guns kill people.
Yeah, gun control.
Yeah. When a drunk driver kills, do they blame the car?
No.
Yeah.
When a bomber blows up a building, do they blame the bomb? No. But when a gun kills people, when somebody shoots somebody, it's the gun.
You gotta understand that's an easy excuse to violate your Second Amendment rights.
It's another power to take away from the people so the government can control them. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. Next, that's 13. We just did 13, right?
Yep.
Okay, next is 51/13. That's the same one. Miss Billy, you good on that?
Yes.
You have a right to be confused on that one. 57/15. Please let it be normal. I don't think there's normal in this book. An accessories company finds that the cost and revenue in dollars of producing X belts is given, that's cost. See, cost. Okay, write that one down. And revenue is this one. So first of all, you need to rewrite this in a way that's supposed to be algebraic. Okay, respectively, determine the rate at which the accessories company average profit per belt is changing when 170 belts have been produced and sold. Okay? So go ahead and rewrite this. And I would assume you're going to take the derivative, but I'm not sure if you're going to set equal to each other or you're going to take the derivative. So an accessories company finds that the cost and revenue in dollars of percent, blah, 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 respectively determine the rate. The rate, that is what? Slope, at which the accessories company is changing when 170. So I think they're giving you a point right there to check. I'm pretty sure.
I knew I wasn't crazy. That chair smells like wet feet and mayonnaise.
I swear I think he's on drugs.
You
I
asked him
think
to
you've been
talk.
sniffing some mayonnaise, haven't you? All right. So, first of all, I'm going to rewrite these two. I don't know. It sounds like to me they want you to plug in 170 for the cost. Oh, that's not right. There we go. So, the first one is the cost, C of x is equal to negative 0.066 x squared plus 30x plus 740. And the revenue is equal to 35x to the 9/10 power. So that means, and I'm just trying to get a grasp, exponent over index, that means the 10th root of x, 35x to the 9th power. That means you've got a graph with a, let's see, a y-intercept of 740. And it's looking something like that. And then you've got a 35x to the 9th. So that's a square root. So that's going something like this. So I don't know if you're supposed to be finding the intersection. I don't think so. You could actually set these two equal to each other to find the intersection. But they're saying at 7, determine the rate at which the accessories company average profit. Well, we know that profit is equal to cost minus, or revenue minus what? Cost. So we need to do revenue minus cost. And if you ever sold something, you know what I'm talking about. If it takes you, let's say baking a cake. If it costs you $15 to bake a cake, okay, I'm not talking about one of these 2-layer cakes. I'm talking about one of these BA cakes, okay, dang old wedding cake, all right, or some kind of big cake, and it costs you $15, and you sell it for a revenue of $25, then you take the revenue, that's what money coming in, and you subtract the cost of the cake. So we're going to take the revenue, which is 35x to the 9/10, and we're going to subtract negative 0.066 x squared plus 30x plus 740. Now I'm doing this from a business standpoint. I don't know what they do in this question, but that's what I'm doing. All right? And that's your profit. So that's going to be 35x to the 9/10 plus 0.066 x squared minus 30x minus 740. Everybody with me? Now I want you to call that P of x. Now I want you to use the sum and difference rule to find the derivative of your profit. So I'm going to move all this. Really? I might as well just quit. Thank you. Damn Russians.
It's Bernie now.
What do? Yeah, they're after Bernie now. You know why they're going for Bernie? Because they want Trump to win. Well, what about in 1950 when they were in, or 1960 when they were trying to meddle in our elections? Was that because of Trump too?
Actually, it was. Trump did that.
Oh, it was? Okay. Try to hit everything off. Dang old November 22nd, 1963, dang old Stephen King. Try to hit everything off. Y'all read that book? Oh yeah, that requires y'all to read. Y'all don't read, right?
No.
Okay,
No.
not often. All right,
Unless it's
so,
Von Rash.
yep, dang old. They gonna read about that dang old hippie, Hubert McClure. Hubert Toomey.
With the gold tooth.
No, gold tooth, I'm a warden. No, they're not a warden. What do you call them people? Prison guard.
Yeah.
Did I beat up anybody?
I don't think you beat up anybody, but you are aggressively mocking a meth head.
Let me guess, I'm also a racist too in there probably.
Now,
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm a racist terrorist. Y'all know that, don't you? I'm a veteran.
Member of the NRA.
I'm an NRA member, and I also pronounce Clemson with a P. So that means I'm a racist, southern, ignorant redneck.
Aren't you sexist too?
No, I'm just naming. I'm probably all 4, 5, or 6 of them. I'm deplorable. That's what I am. P prime of x is equal to 9/10. I'm going to go ahead and do it because I know y'all stopped. Why'd y'all stop?
fraction.
Because it's got a fraction in it. Plus 2 times 0.066 x squared. I'm sorry, not x squared, x to the first. Well, I'll just do 2 minus 1. There we go. Minus 30. And remember, if you get confused, just put your variables in. So that's going to be 1 times 30, x to the 1 minus 1, minus 0 times 740, x to the 0 minus 1. And of course, what happens to that last one? That one cancels out. And of course, y'all can't do the first one, so I'll do it for you. P prime of x is equal to, well, that 10, that'll cancel 2, that'll cancel what, 7? 7 times 9 is 63. So that'd be 63 halves x to the what? Negative 1/10. That's even more, you don't know what to do with it. And 2 times 6 cents is 12 cents, but in this case, it's going to be 13,132. Somebody help me out. 0.132?
Yep.
So that's 2 times, okay, I did 0.132, I did in my head. 0.132 x to the negative 1. And then what happens here?
Why would it be the negative 1?
Because I can't add. Because I'm thinking while I'm doing it. And this will be negative 30. Okay, can you rewrite it one more way? Can you do anything to make it a little bit less messy? You bring that x to the negative 1/10 down, and that's going to be P of x is equal to 63 over 2/10 root, or 1/10. You can write that to 10th root of x if you wanted to, plus 0.132x minus 30. Now I need somebody to plug in 170. So P prime of 170 is equal to 63 over 10 parentheses 170 to the 1/10th power plus 0.132 times 170 minus 30. Somebody give me that number. And somebody's going to have to give it to me, and somebody's going to have to second it, because I'm not going to type that in on a calculator with a mouse.
I'm getting 45.
Somebody got 45.08? Oh my gosh, Pendleton's actually reaching for a calculator. They're actually participating. Those other 2 guys back there are watching porn or something. I don't know what they're doing. It's a joke. It's a joke. Laugh. Ha ha. Mickey Mouse porn.
What category?
And it's be quiet.
Yeah.
That's
I don't
funny.
understand.
What category? Somebody, so I got 45.08. Somebody tell me if that's good or not.
Yep.
All right, let's type it in. And they probably want the whole freaking equation because I'm going to type in 4508. So I don't know what they want. Does it say? I bet they want the equation. They want the equation and they can go jump in a lake. All right, there it is. Did we get that? If we didn't, I'm quitting.
They didn't simplify as much as we did. Or they didn't get the derivative.
Why did they get 7 halves? 7 times 9 is 63. Okay, y'all check to make sure I did that right. Is 9 times 35 divided by 10? Somebody tell me if that's not, I think I did that right. Why did they get 7 halves? 7 times 9 is 63. I'm about ready to quit. Every one of these problems, they are doing different than I am. Okay, changing at $170. Oh, 45. I know it's wrong. Then let's see if $45.08 per belt, I guess, I don't know. Let's see what they get. Did somebody take the derivative, find something different? Yeah, we got something totally different. And I don't know how they're getting 7 halves where I got. I need somebody take the derivative of 35x to the 9/10 for me and see what you get.
31.5. Do you just do it powerful?
No. 9 times 35, 9/10 times 35, x to the 9/10 minus 10/10. Somebody tell me what you get when you do that. Wait a minute. They don't even have the 30x. And they took the derivative of 740 and got 740. Okay, something is really wrong here. Do y'all see that 740 right there?
Yeah.
How do you take the derivative of 740 and get 740?
I have no idea.
Okay, I'm
Priority 1 message coming in on
oh my God. All right, folks, I need somebody to look at it and tell me how you take the derivative of 740 and get 740. The only thing I can think of, they've got x squared on the bottom. It looks like to me they're using the quotient rule. I don't know how they can be using the quotient rule. I thought to find, if I'm not mistaken, isn't profit revenue minus cost?
Yeah.
Let's see what they're doing, because is that not revenue minus cost?
Looks like it.
All right, I'm gonna move my stuff out of the way. I don't know what they're doing. Oh, engineering calculus is a whole lot easier than this. Well, the book is. You just find the dadgum derivatives and keep going. I thought I did the parentheses. Did I not do the parentheses? Did I not distribute that negative? Yeah. All right. Is this different numbers? Okay, they're different numbers, but. And then take the derivative. And it's not working.
Wait, is that a 38 and you have a 30?
No, it's different numbers.
I gotcha.
Okay, did y'all know this? Oh, this would be nice to know, wouldn't it? The average profit is your P of X divided by X. Did y'all know that?
No.
Well, that would be nice to know because that changes everything. Okay, we need to write that down because I didn't know that. Average profit. Okay, I see it right here. I'm sorry I didn't cover that because I didn't know that we had to do that. Average profit. Average profit. I can't even write now. I keep irritated. This book's thinking we know stuff that we don't. The average profit, I guess I'm going to have to study economics too. Average profit is equal to P of X, which we found, divided by X. And that's where the X squared come from. I knew they were doing, so that changes everything. So you're going to have to do this problem and you're going to have to rewrite it. Let me just erase the whole thing. You're going to have to take, okay, not erase the whole thing. This right here divided by X. Now, can we go through there? Could we go through and do the algebra and divide? Yes, we could. All right, we could go through, this is X to the 10/10. And we could go through here and divide each one. And then you would have to do the quotient rule on the last problem. You would have to do the quotient rule here on the 740. But then you would just be able to do the power rule on the others. Or you do the quotient rule at the beginning. I'm going to go ahead and start it just because I didn't know. Okay, somebody's going to have to give me this because I'm going to erase it. Y'all going to give it to me? Y'all got it written down? The 35x to the 9/10 plus point. You got it? Okay. So P of X or F of X or whatever they call it, P of X is equal to, and give it to me.
35x to the 9/10.
X to the 9/10.
That's all I remember.
Thank you.
1 second.
0.066 x to the what?
Square.
Second.
Minus 30x.
30x
And then minus 740.
minus 740. And that's going to be over x. Now, you could do this. You could do 35x to the 9/10 divided by x plus, that's a 6, plus, and this pen is not working, 0.066 x to the second over x minus 30x over x and minus 740 over x. And then you could, this would be power rule, power rule, power rule, and then quotient rule, but the 740 is going to cancel, so you're going to be left with 740x or 740, because what's the derivative of 740?
0.
So that's going to cancel one of the quotient rule out, and you're going to be left with 740. Or you could go through and say denominator times numerator prime minus the numerator times denominator prime over denominator squared. Okay? Now, I want you, and we'll continue to work on these. And remember, I told y'all we were going to spend a couple of weeks on the product and the quotient rule. Remember, and the chain rule. I told y'all. So don't be impatient. Just keep working, and you'll get it. Because when we get to antiderivatives, which is next, I'm going to skip to chapter unit 3. You're going to undo the derivative. So I won't count everybody here. I don't feel like counting rolls. So have I taken roll this week?
Yeah.
I did? Okay, well, that's good enough for the bureaucrats. Y'all get out of here. Keep on working.